Okay, thank you for this occasion. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Mika Marcelli. I'm from Erlangga University, Indonesia. For the first time, I wanna say sorry because my picture cannot display in this presentation because something wrong on my device. So in this occasion, I want to present my research article about criticism of village financial management from the perspective of Japanese culture values. Okay, for the introduction, I will show you about the trend of one village corruption cases in Indonesia. So, if we see about the trend of the fund village corruption cases in Indonesia, it is almost raises all over the year like this. So we can say that almost all of the year there is the increasing of the corruption cases, which is the fund village which are take from the government. Each of village reach for about 800 until 916 million rupiah for the fund village. So all of the cases almost done by the head of village for the first rank and the official staff on the second rank. So, with the most common being the practice of misusing the budget, we can say that the most common being it's caused by the misusing of the budget from the embezzlement of funds, fictitious reports, fictitious activities or projects, and budget inflation. And then for the background for my study, so humans have forgotten the purpose of being created on earth, which is to provide benefits, happiness, and prosperity to all of God's creations. From this Japanese perspective philosophy, it can say that Jawa tapi orang Jawani, which means that Japanese but doesn't reflect the noble values of Japanese culture at all. Village financial managers have forgotten the teachings of their ancestors to always apply the philosophy of life, which is memayu hayuning bawono abrasta turhantoro, which means that humans must be able to strive for safety, happiness, and welfare, and must be able to eliminate or eradicate greed, anger during life in the world. So Japanese ancestors also said that ojo citro mundak ciloko, which means that we have don't cheat so you don't get hurt, and ojo nilai barang kang melo, ojo mangro mundak tendo, which is mean that don't be tempted by things that look luxurious, beautiful, and don't think twice so you don't lose your intention and enthusiasm. However, in reality, financial managers have to ketungkul marang kelungguan, katunyan lan kemareman, which means that financial managers have been obsessed, confined by the desire to obtain a position, material, and worldly satisfaction. We have to remember that Japanese philosophy about yen urip mung isine isih nuruti nafsu, sing jenenge mulya mesti saya angel ketemu. Which means that if life is still filled with worldly lust for fun, the name of the glory of life will be difficult to find. So they have to follow the ancestors. Nek wis ono syukurono, nek wis durung teko entenono. Which means that if you already have it, you are grateful. If it has not come, it is awaited. All of these teachings of virtue are aimed at achieving urip kang utama, mateni kang sampurna, which means that when humans do good deeds during life, they will find happiness in the next life. I mean that after the life on the earth. In other words, the purpose of human life is to golek sampurnaning urip lahir batin lan golek kasumpernaning pati, which means that to seek physical and mental perfection or greatness and to seek the welfare or happiness of life in this world and the hereafter. So Purnamati and his friend in 2019 found that the spiritual dimension is able to increase the accountability and transparency of village funds because they adhere to the law of karma pala through the principle of moksartam jagaditaya taiti dharma. And as a positive effect, transparency and accountability can affect the allocation of village funds the following year by Fitriani et al. So Vijayanti and his friends state that the good individual morality of village government officials can prevent fraud tendencies. Effort to foster individual morality can be carried out through coaching the village officials such as increasing faith and piety, gratitude, patience, and increasing self-piety. All these virtuous teachings I am at achieving urip kang utama mateni kang sampurna, which means that when humans do good deeds during life, they will find happiness in the next life. So financial village managers must also always remember that sabejo-bejone wong kang lali isih bejo wong kang eling lan waspada, which means that the luckiest person is the one who always remember the Almighty or Allah and is careful in living his life. And in fact, the main purpose of human life is to achieve urip kang urup, which means being a light for people by spreading goodness, providing benefits to others around. So the objective for my article is the high number of corruption cases in village financial management makes it important to conduct research from a moral and spiritual perspective to arouse the humanitarian awareness of village financial managers for the development of better village governance and to achieve universal welfare. So in this study, I use library research by adapting from Hamza. So for the data use, I use the library data which is relevant to the object research based on previous research from the internet, previous research books, and other relevant resources that related to the topic like this, which is from village financial management and Japanese philosophy. For the research instrument, I use checklist of classification of research materials, writing schemes or maps, and the research note formats. And then for the data analysis technique, I use content analysis. So this research is attempt to reveal phenomena that occur from existing cases and articles accompanied by literature on village financial management and the noble values of Japanese philosophy. So after the data is collected, the researcher analyzes all findings from various readings related to the shortcoming of its source, the advantages or the relationship of which about the discourse discussing. Finally, this research provides critical ideas on previous discourses by presenting new findings and collaborating different thoughts on research problems. So the result and discussion from my article is, as far as the research review from the previous studies, there is no previous research or textbook that fully discusses the practice of village financial management based on the overall noble values of Japanese philosophy. So the previous studies is only used one of the noble values of Japanese philosophy in starting the research discussion, such as the character of accountant in the philosophy of Adigang Adigung Ayadikuno by Raraja et al. They found that environmental accounting in Kejawen's noble saying that use the metaphor Ibu Bumi Papa Akso as environmental accounting and the value of worldliness, and the metaphor of Ajongguku Karpe Dewe as environmental accounting and the value of respect and courtesy, and the metaphor Rukun Agawe Santoso Cerah Agawe Bubra as environmental accounting and the value of nationality by Anindita and Hamida, and also Astabrata in transformational leadership by Yuniarta. So it is undeniable that the fraud that occurs in the management of village financial is also due to the limited ability of village government human resources and assistance. However, more fundamental than all is The issue related to the moral and spiritual of the village government, especially the village head, as a human being who is carrying out the worldly mandate and at the same time will also later give account of his life to the God, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who created the world its entirety. The high number of cases of corruption of village funds committed by village heads can be likened to humans forgetting the purpose of being created on earth, which is to provide benefits, happiness, and welfare to all of God's creation. So we think that humans have to attempt by the opportunities they get, which they consider a blessing to obtain personal interest, but on the other hand, humans forget that the blessing is actually a test to always walk and use it on the path of goodness, as started in one of the Japanese philosophies, namely Gusti paring dalan kanggo wong sing gelem dalan, which means that God or Allah provides guidance for humans who want to follow the path of the truth. So God will also punish people who have taken something that doesn't belong to them, like the head of the village office too. So the conclusion of our research is the high number of corruption cases in village financial management shows that there are various loopholes and weaknesses that occur in the village. It cannot be denied that the low understanding and quality of human resources of village heads and village officials related to financial management, as well as the need for pilot assistance and adequate information system are indeed obstacles for village in running the governance and financial management. But more than that, the fundamental thing that must be owned by all village governments, especially village heads, is a moral and spiritual awareness that can be drawn from the noble values of Japanese philosophy, which is more full of meanings of divinity, humanity, spirituality, humanity, nationality, kinship, and worldliness. This research is different from other studies because it presents a complex moral and spiritual philosophical basis of thinking based on Japanese philosophy of village financial management. Thank you.